Prime Minister agreed that if Reform can't run one county council, they certainly can't run Scotland, Wales or our United Kingdom.
Well, he's absolutely right to point out, as voters in Durham can see, what you get if you vote Reform is total chaos and broken promises. Mr Speaker, councils have a vital role in our community.
Well, that was Labour MP Alan Strickland attacking Reform's record on Durham County Council since Reform took over. Since taking office in Durham, Reform have slashed the net zero emergency declaration. They've cut funding for Durham Pride.
Ben, listen, all I can say about this Labour MP that I've never heard of is that his head is so far up Starmer's backside. I can only hope that Starmer is charging him rent. Listen, he's brown-nosing, right? He's brown-nosing Starmer in a gold-gilded chamber in Westminster. And we here in Durham, we're dealing with a £70 million black hole left by a Labour administration and a Lib Dem administration as well. We're focused on people, Ben. The priorities that you mentioned there are not the priorities of the Westminster elite. And there's a reason for that. They don't agree with the priorities of the people. We ensure that your taxpayer cash isn't going on these net zero projects. You know, we're talking about the satisfying actual rejection of wasteful woke ideology as well through DEI training. I would argue, Ben, that that actual training says that a son of a miner or a steel worker, that their skin, the colour of their skin, means that they are privileged in some way. That, to me, is an absolute poison, and it ought to be rejected in the strongest possible term. I've been up since the early hours of this morning, Ben, actually passing a free speech amendment to Durham County Council's constitution. And I tell you why that matters. There's a opposition politician, not on our side of the chamber, who actually was taken a task for, and you'll remember this, I know you will, a member of the acting class who was on the BBC during our, I believe it was actually our late Majesty's the Jubilee celebrations, Platinum Jubilee, I should say, who actually looked at the balcony and said that it was terribly white. Do you remember that? Terribly white. This councillor was hauled over hot coals for saying that. I've passed a free speech amendment. The Liberals, so-called Liberals, couldn't handle it. Labour in the House of Commons today absolutely going to hell on us for actually delivering what we said we would. They ought to try it, Ben, to be honest with you. If Reform in Durham is setting the tone nationally, we will receive the biggest majority that this country has ever seen. We have saved well over £20 million. There is more to do there. There is a waste deal that Richard Tice has talked about on this very channel that is saving local authorities in the northeast of England maybe over £100 million. We did that.
Yeah, but Darren,
Alan
Strickland said you've cancelled Pride. You can't cancel Pride, you bigot.
Listen, redirecting cash to kids over pronoun parades, I couldn't give a flying flamingo about them, Ben. I really couldn't. Labour have kicked the can down the road on actually caring for our kids. We'll have a special educational needs crisis throughout local government. It's not just limited to Durham. And guess what, Ben? Today, they announced that that decision is going to be moved to next year. So we're being told in local authorities to cut, all because the Education Secretary, as you well know, is standing to be Deputy Leader of the Labour Party. So they're kicking the can down the road for our kids in care, but they're saying it's all right because Labour have bigger priorities, such as the leadership election, because of Angie Rayner and her, you know, more than generous tax affairs.